We're actually going to get to this story. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky meeting with lawmakers in Washington Tuesday, urging them to pass another massive funding bill worth billions of dollars. While President Biden is eager to get those funds to Ukraine, congressional Republicans have been pumping the brakes, continuing with their focus on the security of our southern border with Mexico. And joining us right now is Republican Representative Greg Murphy of North Carolina. Good morning to you. Thanks for making time. I know you guys are trying to get away for the holidays sometime soon, maybe not on Thursday, but sometime soon. But we've long known that the GOP is focused on border security and that they're wanting to tie that to any foreign aid package. So first of all, what conditions need to be met for Republicans to get behind this Ukraine funding?
You know, Adrienne, I believe there is great sympathy for the plight of the Ukrainian people. They were taken over savagely by a dictator. But if we look at the totality of things, the Biden administration has allowed our country to be invaded, to allow our sovereign border to be broken. And so it's really sometimes a hard sell to help out and assist another country with its border when we're not taking control of our old border. And so, you know, I think we want to help the Ukrainians by all means, but we have to make the Biden administration serious about protecting our own nation, our own border at the same time.
What kinds of protections, though? Because it still seems as though we're throwing money at a problem, the southern border, the millions of people who've crossed through over the past couple of years, but we're not coming up with an actual reform plan. So do Republicans have that plan?
Adrienne, I think it was very clear during the last administration. There was a stay in Mexico policy, number one. There was two, you seek asylum in the country that you come into before you try to come into the United States. We have money that help adjudicate these cases that are not asylum seekers. If you look carefully, Adrienne, what's going on at the border right now is a lot different than what was ever been done in this nation's history before. We have 169 individuals who were caught so far this year on the terrorist watch list. We have thousands of Chinese young men coming into this country. Again, to get out of China, you have to have a special visa for certain reasons. We're seeing an absolute invasion of individuals who very well may do this country harm. That's not been encountered previously. So we have to get back to actually what needs to be done to allow those who really seek asylum into our country and those who may be seeking to come into this country to do us harm.
In terms of harm, President Zelensky has warned that delays in this funding, even though we've already given billions and billions of dollars, could give Russia the upper hand. Do we know if Ukraine is currently in a losing position, and that's why Republicans are wary of throwing more money at this?
That is part of the calculus, Adrienne, because the Ukrainians now are really starting to ramp up drafting and trying to get people to the front. Putin does not care who he sends to the front to be basically used as fodder. They're in a very, very tenuous and very, very difficult situation. Honestly, if you go back to 2014 when Obama allowed Russia to gather Crimea, we should have been much stronger then. Yes, we do as a nation want to help Ukraine. But again, we have to set back. What is the president's first obligation? He's to protect the sanctity and the security of our nation, and he's not doing this. I hate that the Ukrainian people are caught in the middle of this, but we have to protect our own borders before we start protecting other countries' borders.
Do you think that Congress will come up with a deal before the holiday?
Well, it's really up to the Biden administration, Adrienne. We've asked them. We said, look, we're happy to work on Ukraine funding, but show us where you're actually going to get serious about the border. My understanding is that Mayorkas and Biden now are actually getting a much more serious attitude to reinstituting something like a Title 42 boundary where you can't have everybody come in the country who just wants to come in the country.
Well, it's nice that you're giving us a little insight because we keep hearing that they're willing to compromise and yet we're not getting details. So a little insight from you, Representative Greg Murphy. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.